Hi again, Emma here from Kneehigh Farm. We are back at the farm on this beautiful 58-degree first day of spring. Happy spring equinox, everybody. We are continuing our machine saga of service and repairs. This morning I went to change the fluids and air filter for my BCS, which is basically a walk-behind tractor, and my clutch was stuck. So I learned why that was. Everybody who has a BCS, engage your clutch lever over the winter, because otherwise, and it says this in the manual, I just decided not to listen, but engage your clutch because it can get stuck over the winter, or if you don't use it for a long period of time. So sent that out to be repaired because I don't have the time to take apart my engine right now. But a BCS is an amazing tool. It's something we use inside our high tunnels. So you can see behind me, this last week we put up our big 200-foot tunnel, and I'll walk over there and show you the inside. But I needed the BCS and the tiller to till the beds that we're going to plant spring carrots into. So that is our task for next week, and hopefully the machine comes back better than before. So here's the tiller attachment that fits on the BCS. It's just a little mini rototiller. You can see underneath these tines, those go through the soil, and you can adjust the height. And it's an amazing tool for preparing a seed bed for direct seeded stuff, mostly in the tunnels because we can't fit the tractors in there. I have that little plastic bag just protecting the hitch where it attaches to the actual implement. Another tool that I have for this is the flail mower, which is a beast. This tool cost me, I think it was $2,400, upwards of $2,000. Same, you can see the attachment right there. But this mower, I mean, this can take down cover crop waist height. It is incredible. It takes down woody brush. It's really, really quite the machine. And it just cuts all the pieces into really fine segments because of the flails. I don't think I'll be able to show you underneath. It's very heavy. Yeah, I can't reach under there. But basically it has a bunch of blades that look like fishtails, and they flail around and chop debris up or residue up until it's very fine and easy to incorporate then. Let's take a walk over to the high tunnels, and I'll show you the plastic that we put up and what's inside. As we walk over there, I'll just talk a little bit about where we're going to initially till this year and what we'll plant. This section right here, this is a very wet portion of the farm, and it hasn't been cropped in a couple years, but it has had a dense cover crop on it. Last year it was clover and oats, and the year before that we did sunflowers. So this year I'm hoping we can do shallow rooted crops like lettuce. We're gonna do peas this year. We're gonna do celery root because it really loves water, and I hope this area doesn't get too waterlogged and drains well, because we've had issues with that in the past. You can see it rained a couple inches, or an inch, a couple days ago, and there's still, very wet sections of this farm. There's typically standing water. You can't really tell with the reflection, but standing water in portions of this farm, even with a little bit of rain, just because the clay content is so high that it takes a really long time to drain, which was one of the impetus behind these swales, was to catch the water as it ran down north to south and then direct it off the farm this way, because there is a slight grade. This field, you can see the remnant biodegradable plastic. That was all of our hot crops, I like to call them, last year. So eggplant, tomatoes, okra. This whole field is getting a year-long cover crop. So we're feeding the soil this year. It's about 1.5 acres up until this greenhouse, which is where I'm headed, and we'll show you where we're going to plant our spring carrots. Then if you just take a look over here, this whole area was a year-long cover crop last year, so now this will be all of our hot crops. We're basically transferring the field behind me over here. So I'm really excited to see how things grow in this field, because we had a really successful cover cropping season over here. And we're going to be doing, all of our hot crops, and then we have garlic over here. We have some under straw mulch. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see some of it coming up. Hi guys. And then that's for spring green garlic, so we're not going to let it bulb. All this under the row cover is strawberries, and then we have a bunch more garlic here. So that's all starting to come up, and it's looking green. It's going to like this week of 60-degree weather. Here we are at the tunnel. We call this one Big Bertha. It's 200 feet long, 190 feet. And this frame is from Farmer's Friend. They usually only sell tunnels in 100-foot sections. You can see some of them back there. Those are Gothic. You can see that point at the top, the two on the outside. But this one is called a Quonset tunnel, and it's rounded over the top. And you can see they called it a caterpillar tunnel because of this lashing. The string that's holding the plastic down creates these kind of segmented sections in between hoops, like a big long caterpillar. And we find it's really effective. You vent it instead of having like a mechanism that rolls up the side. You just pull the sides up, and then the tension of the string holds it up. It is warm in there. It's a sunny day. Let's take a look inside. Hopefully I don't steam up too much. Yep, steam room. My glasses are all steamy. There's like a sauna in here. But you can see behind me, we tilled all of this up by hand, just with a broad fork. So basically a big heavy pitchfork. And we are planting spring carrots into this. Last year this had our tomatoes in it. You can see there's still a lot of remnants of compost. We put a ton of mushroom compost in this last spring, and then we forked it in, we tilled it, we put landscape fabric over it for the tomatoes. So this tunnel is going to be really nice, because once we fertilize it with some amendments and then till it in, it'll be a really nice seed bed. It'll be really great for direct seeding into, and it will have a lot of nutrients and hopefully not a lot of weed pressure because of that year-long landscape fabric. So we'll be shooting a lot more footage of these high tunnels throughout the season. This year, or last fall, we put up the two in the back, you can see, and we've yet to put plastic on them, but for the first time we're going to be doing trellised cucumbers and bell peppers in the tunnels. So I'm really excited to show you our learning process with that, and to dig into season extension a little bit, because increasingly in this region it's really necessary. I mean, I typically don't grow too much over the winter, but even just getting a head start in spring and then being able to supply markets through early December. We've been getting frosts earlier in the fall and later in the spring, so if you can protect your crops in those transition periods, you can really make a fair amount of money, because people are itching for veggies this time of year, and also just make your customers happy with the quality product. So thanks for watching again. Enjoy this beautiful spring week, and we'll see you next week.